Welcome back to the Scorpio channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Scorpio. Know that energy is fluid, rules can be reversed. Just interpret the message as it best resonates. Also know on this channel, I like to dive deep within the readings, so I look at everything. But the readings are a bit longer because I also look at the spiritual blocks of shadows and see how they play out as karmic themes, meaning that they have a therapy style to them, my readings, because it's not about what your person, what they're doing. A lot of times it's more about why are they doing what they're doing. Because already, if we're connected to somebody that's karmic, and when we associate karmic, we tend to think that that's somebody that comes into our life and they mess up our life. They mess us up. They make us stuck and they keep us stuck in a place of feeling not good enough, not worthy, not lovable, not desirable. Again, they keep us in a lower vibration. And really, no one should be able to make us feel that way. So that's why they were karmic. They're coming into our life to show us our worth. Because if a person makes us feel not worthy, well, then we need to take a look and see why that person perceives that about us. What are the behaviorisms and habits that we do to contribute to that perception? Also, if you're dealing with a wounded person, they're seeing things through distorted perception. But that still doesn't mean that they don't perceive you the way that they do. And it still doesn't mean that it didn't make you feel the way that it did. So again, our emotions are the gateway to spiritual healing. So understanding everything allows you to cut psychic cords. And a psychic cord is just like, why is this person's energy on me? Why are they thinking about me? They're not coming towards me. They're not they're not doing anything, but I always feel their energy. So again, you wouldn't be able to feel it if your mind wasn't also connected, or there wasn't a part of you that still desired them. And you may say, well, I still desire them, but I can't help it. Well, not until you learn the spiritual lesson. You have to integrate the spiritual lesson. In order to integrate the spiritual lesson, you have to embody a new consciousness. That's when you actually really do transmute the negative energy. Otherwise, we know in our mind, but without embodying the new consciousness, meaning acting a different way, well, doesn't matter. You're a magnet of who and what comes into your life. So it doesn't mean that you're not desirable or you're not worthy just because a person doesn't give you anything. It's because of what you're allowing. Now, if you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, you got to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video in your comment bar. The word of the video is always on the first card that I pull out, and it's the underlining energy that tells us why everyone's doing what they're doing. Because a lot of times we don't know. We're like, why is that person acting the way that they are? And it's because they're wearing a mask, they're creating facades and illusions. But all that should tell you more about them than you. But a lot of times we get caught up in the feeling. So understanding also allows us to say, this issue is not mine. It doesn't belong to me. It actually belongs back on you. We have to teach people how we want to be treated. And a lot of times people just treat you the way that they treat themselves, which is like shit. And it's because we're a society that doesn't talk about spiritual hygiene, doesn't teach us how to be. We just going around treating people the way we want to be treated, but none of us got enough emotional support. So we all overgive until we get to a point where we give nothing. And it's not one or the other. We have to find our balance. And we can find that balance through our unique individuality. I always like to give you a little tidbit of spiritual advice. It's really important. Again, this channel is unique. There is no other. Now, there may be duplicates, somebody trying to duplicate, but understand there's only one Laura Ann. There's only one Laura Ann Schwalm, and it's unique. the energy is unique. You can have 10 people teaching the same thing. Now, again, my readings are different because a lot of times we can make a relationship work that we see can't work. Now, believe it or not, we really can. Or we can completely cut the psychic cord and act like that person never existed in our life when we transmute that negative energy. Now let's check it out. Let's see what the word of the video is. Overstimulated. Overstimulated. I'm going to pull another one, but that's the underlining energy. See, it's a dragon. That's kind of like what it feels like when you're overstimulated too. You just want to laugh, like because it's so much thought, so much emotion. It creates the fight, flight, freeze. And so I'm feeling as if you're connected to someone that is extremely overstimulated. And they're overstimulated because they don't know where to look for help. They don't know what to do. I feel like it's so much thought, so much emotion. I feel like they didn't treat you well. They know that they didn't treat you well. They don't know how to fix the situation. Their life is a mess. I feel like at one point that you gave them advice. They need comfort. There's a sense of this person needs comfort. Again, when person's overstimulated to understand, it means that they're a highly sensitive person. And highly sensitive people that haven't healed themselves. Because again, growing up in an environment that especially if this person's a guy, if this is a guy that was brought up back in the day, you weren't allowed to experience emotions. You had to be a man. I mean, now it goes true for everyone. Nobody's allowed to show any emotions. And so we're not supposed to show, but our emotions tell us how we feel. They help us navigate our life. However, this person is so overstimulated, they don't do anything. They're stuck in freeze. And it's because they don't know what to do. So I just feel like this person stays in this energy for a long time. And it's almost like I feel like this person gets in their own way because of it. They self-sabotage themselves and they give in to things that they don't really want to give into. They don't have a strong sense of self. See, a lot of highly sensitive people that were brought up in environments where they were told not to feel, but they were feeling people. You can't just shut off your feelings. It's like saying, don't have brown eyes. You can't do that. It's like there are just certain things you can't change. You might be able to change your eye color with contacts, but the eyes always look a little weird. I mean, I've never seen a contact, and I'm sure the technology has gotten better, but it always looked like too vibrant, too over the top. There's just certain people that you could tell shouldn't have certain color eyes. And because their features and their coloring, it looks unique, but it doesn't look genuine. It doesn't look like that, is what I'm trying to get at. This person, they can't be any other way, is what I'm trying to say. When a person, like, they can try to be a certain way, but you can't be. So I feel like this person tends to drink or do drugs or do something to manage their sensitivity and relationships, that because this person feels so inadequate about themselves, relationships are not good. And because, the person's always overcompensating. No one wants to walk around being overstimulated. It's very uncomfortable. And I also feel like they're moody because of it. They're moody. That's like dragon is like moody. All right. Selfish, selfishness. So I feel like when you were dealing with this person, they didn't give you anything. And they didn't give you anything because they have a hard time telling whose energy is whose. So they really try not to build an emotional connection with anybody because as a highly sensitive person, they also tend to be empathic. They didn't ask for that gift. However, see, we have highly sensitive people that, you know, don't choose to do anything with their sensitivity. They don't have a need or a desire to help anybody. That's not their calling. They don't want to do that. And then you have highly sensitive people that do. That's the difference between a highly sensitive person and an empath and a highly sensitive. This person, I believe, down at their core, they do want to help people. But the problem is that they lose themselves in people. And it's almost like they can't tell where they stop and another human being that they build an emotional connection begins. So their way was to keep you away from them because they have a bad tendency to overgive. And they know that. And that makes people not respect them. It's like that makes people not treat them well. So this person, I feel like they overcompensated for that, where they didn't give you anything. Okay, and that's the problem with highly sensitive people that are unbalanced. They try to like eyeball it, but you can't eyeball it because a highly sensitive person that does have a desire to help people, that does have an open heart, does overgive. It's like, and that's why, like, they overshoot the mark, they overcompensate or undercompensate because they're not coming from their true self, their higher self. The higher self is the God part of self. And that's our true self. It's when we're in the claircognizance of, I knew that. How did I know? It's that knowing, it's that intuition that happens in the now, that when we act on it, we get confident. It's like that but we have to get strong within ourselves where we create boundaries when we're an empath. And I feel like this person has always been around people that have known their weakness of being a highly sensitive and they've manipulated them through that. And this is another reason why this person really didn't want to get that close. So we're not going to see very positive cards like on how this person treated you. I'm sure, big trigger wise, because again, someone that's selfish is not caring about anyone except for themselves. Obviously, that's the definition. We're going to focus more on the addictions, but I am going to pull like just a few cards of your triggers. Upside down. I felt like I was living my life upside down without a way to straighten it. You kept me trapped in an endless cycle. So it's like this person wanted to have their cake and eat it too. They knew that they wanted to be with you. They just knew that they weren't couldn't be with you then. And they also knew that you were a good catch. They didn't want you to act like you were a good catch. So they didn't want you to move forward. They kind of wanted to put you on the shelf. They kind of wanted to like put you on layaway, like I'll come back for you later. It's like I need to make sure, but it's like I can't have you move forward in your life. And so I feel like this person gaslit you, and due to their highly sensitive nature, they were moody, very moody, and like would emotionally manipulate by not giving you time. And so it's again, this is what you're like, you want to be with me, you don't want to be with me. You like continuously giving you mixed messages because the real part of them, the true self, the higher self, did want to be with you, but they, for whatever reason, felt that they couldn't be with you. Well, ask why that was. Attention again, upside down, and that's what I said, not giving attention to you. And I feel like the irony is that this person expected you to give them attention. They wanted you to chase them if they weren't. Yeah, I don't think that I don't think that that you understood that. I think that this person stayed away and you were like, I guess you're talking to other people. I guess you're doing this. And so it was almost like they wanted to kind of like needle you. This person has very immature energy, very immature. It's like I feel like this person needed attention, and then what would happen is that they would, back away and hoping that you would run after them. And for you, it triggered you with, I need attention. Otherwise, I get irritated and a little jealous that you're never thinking about me. So there was a little bit of mirroring energy, which again, this person was deliberately doing it to you, but it brought out that inside of you as well, like, which is like, I need attention. Otherwise, I get irritated. Of course, I get irritated because you're acting like, I'm not really worth it. You're only thinking about yourself. I feel like you want to be with me, but you're not giving me the attention, but you're keeping me on the hook. I felt you had more time for other people than me. And almost like because this person wasn't giving you any time, then what was wound up happening, that then what wound up happening, I forgot to show you the attention and the time. um, because this person like wouldn't give you the attention, it was like, and they backed away and hoping you were going to run after them, you backed away. This person didn't expect you to back away. They're used to dealing with people that are insecure, that when they do that, the person gets very anxious and runs after them. It makes that person overstimulated. That's not what happened here. It's like you were like, well, you didn't give me the time or the attention. So, you know, I guess we just became too busy for the connection, where that's how you took it. You were like, okay. So, which I don't think that this person expected you to be so nonchalant about that. Like it said, they wanted you to chase them. You know, they wanted you to show them care. Now, my question is why else? Like I said, I feel like it was their sensitivity. I don't want to get too close, but why? What was going on in this person's life at that time? It's like I feel like someone was controlling them. And again, this is um like almost like they needed to break free. They like submit and they felt powerless, like they were not in control of their life. And they felt like who they were dealing with, that it was a noble thing to do to also alleviate their suffering, to give their energy, I feel like, to like a past person that they were with, to be honest with you. It was like this person, I feel like, wasn't happy in their relationship and this relationship was over. However, they because they weren't really good in their previous relationship, or they were made to feel as if they were not good in their previous relationship, because I feel like the person that they were with previously was extremely manipulative, that knew exactly how to press this person's buttons to make them feel guilty, to make them feel a certain way, being that they're a highly sensitive person. And so this person was made to believe that they needed to like alleviate the suffering by almost giving up their power, by like showing like that they were like being like unselfish, okay, that it was a noble thing to do and it would help create balance and a more calmer life for themselves to help this previous karmic person out. And not really until it took them a long time to realize that this person was really like manipulative. I feel like what they were doing is they were almost like playing with this person's unconscious mind by gaslighting them. And so they really had to go within, take time out, go into deep thought, and do some self-examining because they were what this person began to tell them, they weren't feeling anymore. It wasn't resonating anymore. And it was almost like because you were there. I know that that sounds cheesy, but it's like they had a different focus. It's like this person, I feel like, is a karmic mate, but it's a karmic mate that is manipulating the person that's connected to you. The relationship is over, but that karmic doesn't is making them, and not even to be with them. They're not even together, almost like you still need to take care of me. You still need to do the right thing by me. Like almost like hoping that this person is going to fall back in love, which that's not what's happening. So this person is winding up reclaiming their power, okay? Um, because they wound up really like seeing that this person's manipulating for a long time. However, during this time that they were with the karmic, because this person isn't strong. So we have to look at these cards, which will tell us, first of all, why. One card fell out, overachiever, and money manners. So I feel like, again, like this person does very well in business, makes a lot of money, and so but the karmic was keeping them to be like, well, you need to give me more money. Need to give me more money. You need to give me more money before you leave. So if they have kids, you need to pay extra for the kids. Oh, that's broken. This is broken. You need to make sure that the house is fully the way that it needs to be. You need to make sure that you're treating me like the queen or the king that I am before you leave, with never really any intention of letting them leave, even though the relationship's over. That's what's so crazy about it. So again, the karmic is just kind of making them lose money. And like you said, this isn't a thing where, the person connected to you is like, yeah, I really want to be with this person. No, they don't want to be with this person at all. And we've been getting that. We've been getting stories like this, but now it's almost like it's saying exactly why. Like, how does a person stay stuck for so long? And the reason why is because they get overstimulated, they get intimidated. Because again, they're a highly sensitive person that hasn't learned the art of their sensitivity. They haven't mastered it yet. So it's actually mastering them where they get bullied all the time. They get emotionally, it doesn't matter what the environment is. It's they wind up with the wrong person, and that person nails their ass to the cross, almost like intimidates them. And that's what we see. We see that the karmic is really like just intimidating them, emotionally intimidating them, psychologically intimidating them. This person has like a very dominant personality. And the problem is with highly sensitive people, they get overstimulated with very aggressive personalities. And the irony is that this person pretended for a very long time, a very, very, very long time, that they were not this person. So it's almost like double the whammy because your person would have never agreed to help this person at all if they would have known like who this person really was. And they're almost like they're more freaked out that they thought that they knew this person than what then they're can't believe how they're like acting. They actually like are like shocked. So it's like for a while your person's like it was just easier for them to be the martyr. Like because for a while, at least if you're the martyr, it's like you die for a good cause, right? Like if you're a martyr, it's like people like praise you and say, oh, that you were so self-sacrificing, that you're so self-sacrificing. So you're still a good person. The karmic makes this person, your person, the person that's connected to you, feel like they're a piece of shit every day. They gaslight them, they emotionally manipulate them. They went from manipulating them and gaslighting them into you need to help us. Oh, you're like they acted like, oh, I don't know what I would do without your help. You're so great. You're so this. Oh, I don't know what I'm going to do without you and trying to flirt and trying to again where like for a while I think your person got confused and they didn't really know and that's what you're feeling and then what but they still held back from this karmic and that's what you're not getting. They get confused? Yeah, they got very confused because this karmic started to come back on to them, started to act like they would really try to make the relationship work, but it was still like your person was saying, I don't want you to tell me what the fuck I want with my life. So they deliberately also held back 1,000% from that karmic and not giving the karmic anything, nothing. So it's, but they, but the martyr, which is I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna help you, but I'm gonna help you like financially. I'm gonna help you with the house. I'm gonna help get your shit together, but I'm not gonna do anything with you. We're not going to do anything romantic. We're not going to do none of that. I'm still going to come and go. I'm going to talk to other people. I'm going to like, they really try to put it out there to make it clear, like, you have me here. I am helping you, but I'm not falling back in love with you. So then the karmic got nasty. And that's why, and again, tricked them, where it's like took their money and they made this person like a martyr. Again, your person. Because it's like now it's again so overstimulated by what this karmic did and how this karmic turned into somebody that they didn't even really know existed, which that it's like it's almost easier for them to like give in because at least they don't look like the bad person. They're doing the right thing, but it doesn't feel right. See, it's starting to get to a place where they're like, it doesn't feel right. And they're starting to realize that they're like, that's an old habit. It's like that, it's like that they give in. They don't want to be with this karmic. So why are they giving in? So they're starting to again do like a lot of reflection on themselves, did the deep dive into this themselves to see why do they keep on creating the same undesirable life experiences within their relationships. So again, it's that finally brings them back into themselves. Yeah, and it's because they feel a lack, like that there's something wrong with them. So I feel like even though this person is an overachiever, they have a hard time holding on to their money. I have a feeling also that they have a hard time making their life work because anytime we come from a place of lack and limitation, what we're saying is, I'm not good enough. There's something wrong with me. And that's what this person feels. They feel like there's something wrong with them because they get overstimulated. And then again, they can't tell whose energy is whose. Then they wind up in relationships where they thought that they knew the person, but then the person turns into this horrific person that they don't really know. And so they're like, they have major trust issues. So it's an issue. And now that they have no money because that karmic has played games or has eaten up a lot of their money, I should say, um, they also, there's a sense of like, I don't have enough to like give because they know that they didn't give you anything and they don't want to hear the criticism. So they stay away from you because of that, because they're like, I'm already overstimulated in my situation. I don't know how I'm getting out of my situation. And you're going to ask me 1,000 questions of why I'm still fucking here. I already know. And I already know I shouldn't be here. What am I going to say? It's like they're almost like, why did I even agree to do this? And it's because they were very easily emotionally manipulated. They had no boundaries. Like a highly sensitive person that grew up in an environment where they were not allowed to establish boundaries and they were bullied and manipulated, and now they're recreating the same exact experience within their love life, within their relationships, rather. I feel like again that love life is over, but it's happened to this person before. So they already know now why they like stayed away from you. Again, I also feel like for a while they lost themselves in like eating a lot, drinking a lot, like excessive behavior. Like this person gained weight. I feel like anytime person like suppresses their emotions so much, well, the person did that in order to like stifle their desires, right? I mean, they weren't coming from their true self, their higher self. They're overstimulated. They're trying, it's a way to ground themselves, is another reason why they overeat. They overeat because again, they have a hard time being grounded, highly sensitive, or that have mind chatter, severe mind chatter, especially this person that's going through it, that's being manipulated, that's being bullied, that said, I thought that you were this person, now you're this person. Like you've turned into the most horrific person that I know. I don't want to be in that situation where that person's making them feel trapped, where they didn't get it. There, it's almost like all of a sudden they woke up and they're like, wait, I'm being tricked. Wait a minute, I'm being tricked. And the karmic's like, that's right. So there is a desire to need balance. It's again where I don't feel like this person is balanced because of their addictions. And I said, because they don't know how to shut their emotions off. And so again, the mind chatter and them thinking like, oh my God, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? So this is why this person, like I said, hasn't been around you. It's not because they don't want to be around you. It's that they wanted to do the right thing in closing out this relationship properly. And this karmic had other things in mind. So we're going to take a look at a few just love cards for you to go even deeper to know what this person's really feeling, what they're really thinking, um, feeling, or is there a spiritual reason why you have to go through this right now? Our inner children are crying out right now. We both need to comfort them and become the parents. So I feel like I know that this person definitely does. And if they are not strong in setting boundaries, you either had a hard time setting boundaries, maybe your boundaries are too rigid, or you have a hard time setting boundaries too. I feel again, overstimulation happens when we're not allowed to have our process a lot too. If highly sensitive people that live in China, in Japan, and other places there, it's actually seen as a beautiful trade in other countries other than America. That's number one. But number two, it also depends on the home that you're brought up in, right? So if there's a lot of people that are not highly sensitive, well, then you're seen as different. You're seen as the problem. You're seen as a squeaky wheel. You're seen as all these negative perceptions because like you said, highly sensitive people notice everything. They feel everything if they can't help it. It's like, again, just part of their makeup. And so being brought up in that type of environment would mean that you needed healing too if you are a highly sensitive person. I do feel like you're a highly sensitive person. And that now this person may not act like a highly sensitive person, but they didn't to you. But that's because they overcompensated. That's why they didn't let you get close. I always felt like I had a higher calling in life, and our connection brings us more clarity on it. That was flipped over. So I'm going to put it to the side. These feelings overwhelm me, and I become afraid. Sometimes I even run away from you because of it. So again, part of the reason why in the beginning, why they stayed back with the karmic, but to help the karmic was that it was actually a little bit of a safe space. So because they have such deep feelings for you, and it's scary for them because people manipulate them. They just didn't think that that previous karmic was going to do it. And so I feel like, those deep feelings, I feel like is that fact that this connection is not, it could be a twin flame connection where it's like getting this person away from this karmic. They have something to compare to, right? It's again, it helps them stay grounded. The thought of you helps them stay grounded because again, even though they got confused, they held back from the karmic. That's why the karmic flipped. They went from one extreme till they couldn't play that game anymore. Like it wasn't working. It was like they weren't falling for it. Like a person was still has feelings for you, and the karmic could feel that because they're like, you're still not screwing me. You're still not fooling around with me. You're still not taking me to dinner. You're still not doing anything for me. You like, I don't feel your energy around me. And so, which is making that karmic angry. But I feel like because this person's energy is on you to get out of this situation, you know, I'm listening to my higher self now, and a higher power is guiding me. That's why I said it feels like a little bit like twin flamey energy, because not just because like the higher calling, but because of the inner child healing and the deep feelings that this person can't run from. I mean, they say that they even run from you, but they always come back, so they can't cut this connection. It's easier for this person to not really deal with their feelings or emotions. They have alcohol, they drink a lot, they to suppress what they feel because it's too overstimulating for them. I feel abandoned. I often feel like others let me down. So it's always the same thing, major trust issues. And it's like where the same things happen. So it's not that this person doesn't want to be with you. They have feelings for you. The feelings are deep. It's more like, again, if I get close to you, you can hurt me. You can turn into the bad person like everybody else does. It's like I think I have good judgment, and then what happens is what I see is I don't have good judgment at all. I think you're beautiful inside and out, and I see the light that radiates within your soul. So there's a sense of again, the spiritual energy that it's not even what this person thinks, it's what they feel. It's like I said, which is overriding what they think, which is never happens with this person because I can tell you they're very logical, they're very analytical, they're someone that lives very safe because they're strategizing, right? They tend to not get close. They didn't get close because they do know who they are, but it's like they can't help wanting that and desiring that to be close to you. I'm feeling controlled by people around me and I don't like it. It's pushing me to find my power again. Again, that's that karmic. And I feel like the karmic tries. I'm realizing this connection is really worth something, treasuring. Again, that the relationship is so deep. And that's really what this person is feeling. And this is, I'd long ago shut down those parts of me that wanted love and romance and intimacy, but you make me long for those feelings again. Again, it's making this person heal, making this person say, like, I want to be with someone that's not controlling me. I want to be with someone that it's again that really has like feelings for me. I don't want to be with this karmic. I can't fully be with you as long as this other person is in my life. I know that is hard, but I know that it's hard for you, but I have to go through this experience in order to heal it. And they did because, and that's what they're doing. And that's actually confirmed it. So I'm not even going to pull anymore because this person is needing to figure out a way out of their situation. And that's what they're doing. Because what they're seeing is you're controlling me. You're controlling me. I don't have my own life anymore. It's like you took my life. You say that you love me or you like you made me feel guilty. You care, but it's such an unhealthy love. It's such a it's such a obsessive and narcissistic love where this person just only cares about themselves. Where your person like really just had good intention. They're like, how the fuck did I wind up in this situation? And so we have to say, why did you have to experience it? Because again, you're a mirror of who and what comes into your life, especially if this is your twin. Why is your twin like wrapped up with somebody else right now? And that you're actually in separation from them. Understand twin means it's during separation, you're both healing. This person is healing. They're going through this experience miserable, hating their life, and they're focused on you and they're focused on being like, this is really what I want. And that, like I said, making this person crazy. So truth, card number one, abuse, two, self-love, laughter, rebellious. One, two, three, four. Let's go two more. Naive and gifts. So I feel that when you were a child, like you were naive because you are, I do feel like you were also a highly sensitive person because again of the truth speaker. Highly sensitive people are truth speakers, and you were also born with gifts. It's not like your gifts all of a sudden came out. They were always there. You didn't know that they were gifts. They were hidden in the shadows, and they were hidden in the shadows because of abuse. And Spirit says you're in separation now because when you were younger and you were naive, you didn't get the love that you needed. So again, you were made to feel inadequate. Again, you didn't because of the abuse. So during this time, it's all about giving yourself self-love and reparenting yourself. And part of self-love is like connecting with friends and enjoying experiences and not just the joy, but laughter and there was a lot of sadness, with abuse, and being a truth speaker, you know, so about giving yourself self laughter and being a little bit rebellious now. And I feel like you were seen as rebellious as a highly sensitive person, like almost like as a problem. But what Spirit says, it's not a problem. It's good to be a highly sensitive person that's healed. And I feel like you are healed because you know how to set appropriate boundaries. You do have self-love for yourself now. It's like it was all about cultivating that self-love because understand this person wouldn't know how to treat you because they don't know how to treat themselves. Now you might say, well, why am I getting a person that won't know? And Spirit says, because you have to teach a person how you want to be treated. And it's again, there's a part of that is through how you hold yourself and how you treat yourself. But another is also by setting boundaries. So, which may be seen as rebellious, but it's not rebellious. Understand, empaths can be seen as rebellious because they can make change happen. They because of all that emotion, when that emotional is channeled into purpose through a healthy, highly sensitive empath, well, they know how to make change. They know how to not just create, manifest whatever it is that they want. And it's because, again, how do we manifest? We're only in physical form to learn. Remember, it's through the thoughts that you think and the emotions that you have and the actions that you take. Like I said, this energy was very twin flamey to me, where this person feels like they're connected to you for a reason. They, again, like you feel like home. They never experienced a love this deep. It's so overwhelming to them, but they can never really leave it. But are they fully ready? No. What we see is again, they're healing while spirit is saying, and you are healing too. Because in pouring enough into you, you will be ready for when this person comes into your life to be able to set appropriate boundaries, to realize that no one can manipulate you. There's always a sense if you were brought up in an environment with a parent that was so overwhelming that didn't allow you to have your process, that didn't allow you to set appropriate boundaries, that you're going to get overstimulated. It's just the way that it's going to be because that parent's going to be like that. Parents get or impatient, and there was no real knowledge about being a highly sensitive person. So there's many highly sensitive person that's in their 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s and older that felt inadequate, and it's because they didn't know. They didn't want to feel other people's stuff. They didn't want to get overstimulated. They felt inadequate. That they drank. They tried to avoid, they tried to change themselves in order to fit the mold. And so really, like this person is healing to change that on such a deep level, but it takes time. But spirit says you're not ready either. Because like I said, if the person came into your life now, you wouldn't be strong enough for them because it's going to take a strong person to be like, no, I don't care you can't emotionally manipulate me. Because I feel like understand that this person has a tendency to do what is being done to them. It's like because as a highly sensitive person, but when they get overstimulated, they get moody. And so if you're someone that's going to not be able to deal with somebody's emotional manipulation when they get mad, because they're not healed enough and they're gonna make it like you need to help them or you need to, highly sensitive people can be very codependent. And what we see here is that there's mirroring energy of how you were brought up and how this person was brought up. Abuse will also make you highly sensitive, by the way, not just being born. So you can be born with it, but then also have, abuse on top of it and be overly, overly, overly sensitive. And then, have allergies and have like a lot of imbalances due to that sensitivity that make you feel inadequate, that make you feel like, so understand, if a highly sensitive person has support and love and guide and there's patience, then they can they'll flourish. But if a highly sensitive child is brought up in abuse, now they have to heal all their trauma. And so I do believe that this is a twin flame relationship, and but you're in separation right now. This person needs to heal their sensitivity. Otherwise, they'll always be a doormat, or they'll always try to make somebody else a doormat, you know? So we end off with faith. I am confident I will achieve my goals. I live in the present and have faith in the future. I firmly believe in the value within the universe. So Spirit's saying, have faith in this person, have faith in yourself. Really, I mean, you might be like, I like this person, but it's again, they might be too weak, and Spirit says, have faith. This is a divine connection, which means that the Spirit's involved in this connection to help heal and to have faith in that everything comes together in divine time, and that during separation that you're exactly where you need to be. You might say, I don't really like where I need to be. Well, wherever we're healing, we never really like it because we feel lonely and we feel, we should be where we should be already. We should be at our destination rather, not, be where we are. That the judgments that we have for ourselves create even more blocks. So what Spirit's saying is have faith that the universe is always in divine order, and believe that you have value within the universe. Is that when you're a highly sensitive person and you give up that way because you've been emotionally manipulated or abused, it's because there's a sense of feeling inadequate. And Spirit says, I am the universe. God says, I am the universe, and I don't make mistakes ever. And you have me inside of you. You need to find those gifts, cultivate those gifts, become yourself. And that's part of healing yourself. And this person will do the same. It's like, but because through that twin flame journey, because it's not like this person isn't an overachiever. Obviously, they are. That's what they bring to the table. That's why the karmic is like, no, I don't want to let that go. It's like, I don't really want to be with you, but I don't want to lose you either because I like the paycheck. Or I like everything that you do for me. I like for whatever that there's perks there, but it's not love. It's what you can do for me, 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 me. And where this person is finally saying, no, I want to do what's best for me, 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 me. And that's healing. All right, Scorpio, I'm going to leave that there. You let me know how you resonated with this one, and I'll talk to you soon.